So in a spreadsheet, an absolute cell reference is used when we want to use just a single cell every single time in a formula. So if we're multiplying this column of numbers by this single number here, if we go equals, click on A2, multiplied by E2, so our first one is correct. When we replicate that though, we've got relative cell references and it isn't going to work. Because if you remember from the last video, a relative cell is saying 1 to the left multiplied by 1, 2, 3 to the right. When we replicate it, the others do exactly the same thing. 1 to the left times 1, 2, 3 to the right. So it's not going to work in this situation. What we need to do is create an absolute cell reference. So we're going to go equals A2 multiplied by E2. Then we put dollar signs in front of each part of the cell reference. So what we're saying is take the cell to the left and multiply it by E2. And do not change E2 when it's replicated. That's what we're telling the computer. So now if we replicate that, what we find at each stage, look, it's 1 to the left and it's keeping that E2. Let's do it over here, 1 to the left, keeping E2. The advantage of that, when you've possibly got hundreds of numbers in your spreadsheet, is that this number then can be changed very easily and everything else then will update on our spreadsheet. Now the actual way that we do this isn't to type those numbers in. So let's just have one more look then. We go equals A2 multiplied by E2, and then on your keyboard press the F4 key at the top. That will create the absolute cell reference. If we do want this cell reference to possibly change as we replicate across or down, pressing F4 again, that will just lock the row, that will just lock the column, that takes it back to a normal relative cell reference, and there then we're back to our absolute cell.